Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Not Too Comic Book. This being a show where I talk about TV shows that are adaptations of comic books. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. A great episode, a great way to start off this Crisis event. So much stuff went down. I just love it. It's like we start off on Earth 38. Well, not start off on Earth 38. We kind of run through all these different Earths first. We go to Earth 89 and seeing, like, you know, because that's supposed to be Michael Keaton's Batman from, you know, the Tim Burton Batman movie. Is that the one he's from? Oh, it says like on the newspaper, it says like Batman caught the Joker or whatever. I was like, oh, that's neat. Because I'm always confusing the titles of the Batman movies, but regardless. So there's that. Then there's Earth, was it 9, where we see in San Francisco we see Hulk and Jason Todd, which that's probably the only chance time we'll see them, but at the very least it's showing that that's part of this continuity, which I'm losing my damn mind about. I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. And then we saw the Ray on Earth X. Then we got a peek at Gotham on Earth 66, where we saw Burt Ward, which at first I had to rewind it because I was like, I'm not that familiar with it, but I know that he's the actor who played Robin in the 66 Batman series with Adam West. I was like, that's such a dope little cameo. And I'm sure the line he was saying was probably something he said exactly from like the Batman series, or maybe something of the sort. So that was pretty dope. But obviously going back to Earth 38, it's like, okay, some stuff is going down. I don't know what's happening. You know, Kara, I love that the person she saved is Will Wheaton. I was like, is that Will Wheaton? What's going on here, dude? And then just to have all this stuff happening, everything on Argo happening, that's just nuts, because it's like, all right, this is happening, antimatter's coming across, and then like Argo's in the path and everything. And it's so sad because we get this little, you know, scene between Lois and Clark and their son Jonathan, which is that's super neat. Naming his son after Papa Kent, you know. So it's like, you know, I thought that was kind of a beautiful little nod in that direction. But regardless, that moment between them doesn't really last, because the antimatter comes and almost the sad history almost repeating in that moment of Clark and Lois putting Jonathan in a pod to get him off, you know, Argo before it gets destroyed, and he's there with Kara's mom too. I'm like, this is right. I was like, wow. Right off the bat, we're killing off Superman. That's interesting. So I thought, like, oh, we're immediately taking care of that. All the while, all the other pieces are being put into play. Obviously, we're setting up, you know, Kate on, you know, or back on Earth 1 as well. She's looking for Alice, beating up some Wonderland gangs, and it's like, nope, doesn't matter what you're doing. The universe needs your help. Kane, here we go. So we have, you know, Lila, aka Harbinger, popping up everybody. She gets Barry. She gets Mia and Oliver, and even getting Ray and Sarah, which I love. The fact is they're literally in the middle of playing a trivia game. Because I love it, because it's like, of course, the Legends would be doing something like that, because it's like, of course you'd find them in a moment they're not necessarily off saving the day, because literally everyone else was in some hero mode. They're the only ones oblivious to what's happening, and they're just like, and it's like, oh, they lost their trivia game because of stuff, you know, that Ray ended up changing time because of when they went to Woodstock last season. I was just like, that's so good, of course. And then all the warriors have been gathered at that moment. It's like, you know, Lois and, you know, Clark, and it's like, oh, they reunite with Kara. It's like, they're alive, but it's like, but her mom isn't, and that sucks, because you literally lost your planet literally twice. You lost your home essentially twice, and especially for Kara, she lost her mom twice. You know, it's just, that sucks. And now everyone being acquainted, and I love Kate being the badass that she is. Kate's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not supposed to be. I was literally in the middle of something. Lila's about to say something. She turns around, punches her. I'm like, wow, that's nice. I don't know why, because it's just, well, because you can almost make the argument. It's like, well, I'm sure if anyone would have wanted to do that, it would have been Laurel. I think Laurel probably would have done that. I mean, despite the whole like, well, Lila isn't necessarily bad, but we end up finding out that obviously like this is all about the Anti-Monitor and everyone being informed of like, all right, we gotta work together to stop this. The fact of the matter, well, I even love that Kate does take off her helmet and everything, because it's like Kara's like, the fact is I trust all of them. If you're here, that means you're here to help us save the universe. So it's like, hey, pulls off her mask and it's like, well, I guess I should introduce myself as Kate Kane. It's like, okay. And then you have Mia being like, hi, I'm Oliver's daughter. And then you have John being like, I didn't know you had a daughter. And Mia's like, yeah. Everyone kind of has that same reaction. Everyone says the same thing. So it's time for strategy. There's this giant, I forgot what they called it, that tower that ends up getting summoned. It's what's keeping the antimatter from their Earth, but basically the whole plan. And that's such interesting because it's like Earth 38 is the first line of defense, because apparently the Anti-Monitor at the beginning of the dawn of time basically put these towers up across different Earths, key Earths across the multiverse. And so that's interesting to see it all kind of come together like this. And it's like, okay, so Earth 38 is the first line of defense, but it isn't the final line. They're actually setting it up to be like, we need to get as many people off this planet. I'm like, we're about to start a worldwide evacuation. They're like, how are you going to pull that off? Obviously, they're getting a whole bunch of aliens to kind of basically, a lot of aliens came to this planet on their ship, so use them, plus, using the ship that the Legion left behind. The fact is they're trying to work with Lena to open a portal, which that was an interesting confrontation between Alex and her, just because it's like this is their first time communicating since it's all out on the table now. All cards are out on the table now. And it's like, despite how you feel about it, I get it. It's not just on me and Kara that lied. Literally all of us lied keeping this secret, whether it be Nia or anyone else. Like we were a group of your friends and we all betrayed you, but kind of put that all aside. We need to save the world, which Lena's like, yeah, like the fact of the matter is, we'll never be friends again. I don't plan on trusting you, but yes, I'm gonna do this for the sake of the world. The fact of the matter is that you think I'd let my issues with you stop me from saving the world, showed you how little of an opinion you had of me. And it's sad because like Alex is trying to apologize and everything. It's like, because it's like, oh, you even pretended like, oh, you hated Supergirl, which she's like, yeah, that's a whole story in its own, which obviously that being when Alex had her memory wiped, so she wouldn't remember that Kara was Supergirl. That was, last season and everything. So, but, Lena's not really in the mood to listen right now. So, but luckily Alex and Lena were able to work together. Because I think I kind of let it slip my mind. I was like, right, Alex is actually super smart. Like before going down this path and everything, like, well, because wasn't she originally going to school to be a doctor, if I remember correctly? I think so, but I could be wrong. I feel like, because I know there was a partying phase in her life before John came to her to kind of convince her to go down a different path in her life. But I wonder, did that happen in that lane or just before, even during the partying and stuff like that, she was going down, like, whatever the case may be. So all that's going down. I like the conversation between Kara and Clark, because Clark is looking at this as almost like this is his punishment, because it's like, I wanted to hang up the red cape forever and it was foolish of me, almost like this is life smacking me in the face for making that choice, like thinking that I could have it all without consequence, that me making this choice that try and have everything, of course the scales will kind of balance like this in a way, so everything that went down is my fault, which Kara can understand. It's like, the fact of the matter is thinking that your mistakes outweigh all the good that you've done. Because like that one simple mistake of lying to Lena undid everything for her. So obviously like she can relate, especially because, and even Kara's like, how can you be, because she's like, we've saved the earth so many times. All we got to do is just do it again. And it's like, how can you be so hopeful? We literally just lost that planet. We lost Argo. We lost your mom. Like, how can you still be so hopeful? Because for her, it's like, look at this planet, and it's an element they introduced this season of like showcasing all the beauty that is like Krypton being like introduced, that like our world, our culture, everything about it lives on through us. It's not just a place, it's the spirit. And the fact of the matter is we've not only kept that alive by being here ourselves, we've brought it to this planet. We've shared our entire world with everyone in this world. So as long as that's still there, the spirit exists within every one of them. So I like that. I thought that was kind of And I like that, especially for Kara, because Kara has always had to do that, be that brimming, shining hope when the world seems so dark, So I just thought that's kind of a neat element. A little side note I love is Ray and Kate, and he's like, "Ooh, check out your suit's pretty good." He's like, "But I could do a little enhancing if you want me to." And she's like, "Are you well attached to this hand?" And he's like, "Yeah, actually, I am." So I was like, I love that, dude. Oliver hooking Mia up with a suit. It's like the fact of the matter is saying that basically the world needs a Green Arrow, so he knows that this is going to be his final battle, so he wants the torch to kind of be passed on her, which I'm curious to see what that means going forward. With obviously we know the spin-off Canary and everything, like what this would mean, because I'd assume, I don't know. I guess she's going to be the new Green Arrow. Because part of me is wondering, is she kind of filling the role of Artemis to a certain extent? Maybe kind of filling that role, but more so than anything, I think she is just kind of Green Arrow in general. But regardless of all that, I just thought that was kind of a beautiful moment of, nearing the end of his story, Oliver's passing the torch to his daughter, even full-blown passing the mantle onto her. So I thought that was kind of neat. We learned that Jonathan, Clark, and Lois's child not only came to Earth, but a different Earth, Earth 16 in 2046. And they said a line that made me go, wait, that's so cool. They said it basically was like, oh, so that's where we landed back in season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow. Not only did we land on a different Earth, we landed on a different Earth in a different time. In the future and everything. I was like, that's so cool, because that's their way of not retconning that episode. Because I was wondering, I was like, are you going to retcon that entire episode? So I know what, because I was about to say, isn't it 2049? But I guess it's like, no, it's 2046. So, because I'm constantly getting confused. I'm pretty sure the episode title, was it Star City 2046 or was it 2049? Because I think I might be confusing that with time Nora is from, like, well, when Nora came, the time frame she came from. So I'm trying to remember if I'm confusing that. There's so many dates in my head. I do apologize if I'm getting a lot of this wrong, but oh my dude, there's just so much coolness that I'm losing my damn mind about. It's like we're having these interactions, Oliver and Sarah, and she's been like, wow, I've seen Playboys Oliver, I've seen Hero Oliver, never thought I would have seen Father Oliver. I mean, because like anytime she was around, William wasn't really around necessarily in the picture. Well, because to be fair, like William didn't pop up he popped up season 4, but that was a well-kept secret, and they never really acted upon that more until season 6. But even then, Sarah wasn't around during that time for him to, play the father role with William and everything, so... But, it's like, it's a good look on you. So it's like, oh, I love that little interaction between, because they haven't seen each other since, because I can't remember if she showed up before. I know she showed up when Lance died in season 6's finale, but I don't remember if Oliver had already been arrested before then or not. I want to say he got arrested afterwards, after Sarah had showed up. So there's that. So they haven't seen each other in a good while. I didn't even talk about it, but I do love that Brainy, because obviously Brainy's saying some super smart stuff, and then Ray finishes. He's like, finally, someone I can talk to about all this stuff. I was like, right, you two have never interacted. Because I keep forgetting, because I was just thinking about it. It's like, oh, they must have met last season, during the crossover. But I was like, right, the Legends were absent from the Elseworlds crossover. I even loved it, literally the episode after the crossover, there was a joke about them being like, oh yeah, there's like one of those like once every year that we must have missed out on or something like that. It must have been like a crossover thing or something. I love that. And then there was even this conversation between Oliver and Barry. I was like, are we about to exchange information about the fact that both of you are supposed to die during this? But Barry's like, yeah, the monitor, he saw my future and I'm supposed to die. Oliver was like, wait, what? All right, come out now. And Barry's like, who are you talking? And he talks to the monitor. The monitor's like, what are you, this is really not the time to be talking with everything that's going on. It's like, no, I made a deal with you. I die. You save Barry and Carl. Why am I hearing about Barry dying? It's like, because things are different. I saved them then because I knew they would be needed now during this crisis event. And I was like, dude. And so he's saying that basically this is on a whole other ballpark we are in now. Like, the fact of the matter is, if Barry has to die for the sake of saving everything and everyone, then that has to be the part to play. I was like, dude, that's such a little loop and a little technicality, because Oliver's like back to being like, all right, stop hiding information from us. We need to be upfront about everything, which obviously the monitor's still not, because he's like, the fact of the matter is, do you quite grasp the danger? The fact is that this will be the end of everything. I don't know if you're still 100% grasping that yet. So while that's happening, obviously, Sarah, Lois, and Brainy are going to Earth 16, and they run into Oliver from that Earth 16 in 2046, because apparently Oliver had saved baby Jonathan, which makes sense because it's like, well, Star City's a dangerous place, and so obviously Oliver's the Green Arrow at this point in time still. So once again, that's interesting, because even Sarah's like, wait, don't you recognize? He's like, wait, Sarah? It's like, but I thought you died on Gambit. She's like, wait, we met on Leah and you, which is like, shows you how very, very different this Earth is. So I guess it's like, in this world, she never survived the Gambit. She died with everyone else that died. So I was like, oh, that's heartbreaking. She never made it to Leah and you, which is, sucky. And obviously for Oliver, he's like, I wish I never got the chance to say it. And even if I say this to you, it doesn't change it for the Sarah from this world that would never get to know it. But it's like, I'm sorry, which Sarah's like, I don't be. Literally, me going on the Gambit for one, this much like it was my choice, it was this Sarah's choice to go to. And me personally, I would never take away that choice, because it's like that set up a chain of events that's led her to where she is. She is happy now, her and Ava, and her and the Legends. It's like I've helped become, because of those events, she's become the hero that she has. She has the family she has, and says that no matter on whatever Earth it is, Oliver Queen is always a hero. So I thought that was kind of super sweet. Back on Earth 38, we have all the heroes fighting what seems to be like phantoms or something, which there's a flood of them. Obviously, Oliver, Mia, Ray, and Kate are fighting them. Kara, Clark, and Barry are kind of, surveilling everything to kind of make sure everything's okay. But it's super dope. The freaking choreography, dude, seeing like Batwoman flip around and kicking and striking, and seeing Mia and Oliver doing the arrow thing, Ray fire. It's like, oh my God, I'm losing my damn mind, dude. This is like nerder boner to the extreme. If you couldn't hear me over just my excitement, I said nerdy boner. Whatever the case may be, I'm a mess, dude. This is just, I'm so damn excited. I've just been waiting for this for so long, and it's here, and I'm losing my mind. But dude, and then getting Barry and Kara and Clark to join in, and just like obviously everyone's like trying their best. We have Nia and Kelly trying to help put people on ships. I even love that Kelly's got the shield, and she's like, Jimmy left it for me, which I'm like, whoa, are we setting up Kelly to be not? I mean, because the fact is it because I guess for Jimmy, he was like, oh, I don't need anymore because Guardian's not necessary for the job he's doing. I need to be Jimmy Olsen. So maybe going forward, maybe we'll see, maybe this is tiptoeing towards Kelly becoming the Guardian, that basically the mantle got passed her, which would be super dope if that was the case, because I think that would probably make her feel a little bit better, knowing that, hey, I got Alex's back in case anything happens. So, we'll ultimately have to see. But I thought I love that. I even love the little moment they're hiding behind, and it's like, oh, and like she's like, all right, you said you could like enhance this, and he's like, yeah, sure thing. And she gives him a batarang, and he's complimenting. He's like, oh my God, look at this. And Mia's like, he talks a lot. He's like, yeah, that's kind of his thing. Ray, less talking. He's like, right, I got it. And then like enhances it, and she throws it and does some serious things. I'm like, dude, this is happening. Mia having Oliver's back. Clark and Kara flying up, they heat up the solar panels on the thing. And I even love the moment of like Clark passes out first, and then because Kara keeps pushing forward, but then like she falls too. Luckily Barry and Ray caught both of them, and it's like, and I even love Clark being like, yeah, you had to show me up, huh, cuz. Because once again, we do know that like this continuity has shown that she is, to be fair, she is stronger than Clark. I mean, to be fair, she kicked his ass in wasn't it season 2's finale when he was mind controlled? So that was pretty dope. And, once again, they're still kind of giving their all, trying to make sure that everyone on, Earth 38 is able to get away. And the Monitor shows up. It's like, no, we got to save our resources. So he's sucking everyone back to Earth 1 to kind of prepare for this going forward. But Oliver was like, is everyone off the planet? And it's like, no. And he strikes down the Monitor to make sure the Monitor won't send him away. So Oliver's still standing his ground. And it's like, holy shit. Runs out of arrows and everything. And he's by himself. I'm like, wait, are you sick? It's like, what? What? No. I'm like, come on, Oliver, don't, no. And he's fighting all of them. And then we see him kind of get taken back to Earth 1 and he's super messed up. It's like, and even the Monitor's like, the fact of the matter is he stayed behind. Like, basically from his calculations, still half that planet's population still got wiped out. Like 3 billion plus people still died, but like 3 billion got off. And it's like, the time Oliver bought them at least saved 1 billion lives. So, you know, and it's just like, it's like, for Oliver, you know, with his dying breath, he's telling, you know, Barry and Kara, for this is up to them because he gave his all to save them. It's like, Barry, you're the best person I know. The fact of the matter is, both of you are going to be needed to kind of continue this forward, save everything. And, you know, telling Mia, like, you know, when it's all said and done, find your mom and find your brother and tell them how much I love them. And he dies. And even the Monitor's like, this isn't what's supposed to happen. The fact of the matter is, like, he saw Oliver's death in a different way, and it's like, holy shit. Meaning that this whole thing, like, things are going so beyond, even as powerful as the Monitor is, even he isn't capable of seeing the entire picture anymore because things are different. Hell, Nash shows up and is like, wait, what's up with you? It's like, yeah, it's for me rectifying a mistake I made. It's like, what mistake you made? I freed the Anti-Monitor. It's like, dude, there's so much about your damn story we need to unpackage. We don't know anything about Nash. So it's like, so then why is he so pissed at the Monitor? Because basically for him, it's like, I'm supposed to, like, I guess, continue living. I don't know whether it's like an immortality thing he was kind of plagued with or something, but it's like, maybe it's just a thing of like, he can't, because basically it was almost his punishment of kind of existing long enough to see all this go down, because it's like, let him be punished by the fact is all that's happening to this universe is his fault because he freed the Anti-Monitor. Maybe we'll learn about it in the Batwoman portion of the crossover. They might save that for the Flash. I feel like since they brought it up now, that's going to be something covered in Batwoman, but I assume that'd be saved for the Flash just because Nash is a character specifically on the Flash. But regardless, part of me was thinking, because I'm seeing that suit and everything, it's like, they're not, because I was about to say it looks different, so it's not, but immediately my brain goes like, is that some Dr. Fate shit? I don't know. It looks similar, but obviously, like, it's very different. Which, once again, like, I'm surprised we haven't seen him pop up, so I don't know whether Nash or the Monitor are supposed to kind of fill that role, just because he seems like he's the one that usually is that character of, like, knowing everything. Like, to be fair, this is coming from someone who isn't that well versed in Dr. Fate, but it seems like he's the type of person you want to see kind of show up in this situation, just because he seems to be the one that kind of all know. He's on that, like, celestial, cosmic power type of thing of, like, knowing what's to come and stuff like that. So ultimately, we'll kind of have to wait and see if that anything will come of that and what Nash's situation is. But it's like, one of their heroes has fallen. I mean, luckily they were able to transport like 3 billion people to this Earth, but the fact of the matter is, it doesn't stop what's coming. The antimatter wave is continuing, and the fact of the matter is, they've still got the Anti-Monitor to deal. Dude, once again, I mean, to be fair, we've still got 4 more parts. Dude, oh my god. I am so freaking excited to see where all of this takes us going forward into tomorrow night. But tonight, at the time of recording this, it's tomorrow night. But obviously, by the time this goes up, it'll be tonight. Part 2 of the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover as it continues on into Batwoman. I'm so excited to see where all of this ends up taking us. But really, that's all I want to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.